Hi. So I have not posted in like 3 years. I tend to do this thing where I have a goal. If I reach that goal, I'm like, I did it, okay, I'm done. And so once I got monetized, I kind of just quit and I started kind of getting lazy and only wanting to film on my phone. So I decided I'm kind of revamping my YouTube. I'm back. And I kind of decided to make this channel more of like lifestyle, health, fitness. One of the first things I wanted to talk about, because it's been 3 years, is that I have lost a lot of weight and I'm very proud of myself. And I didn't do it in like a 4-month, 6-month period. I did it over like 2 years. So I kind of wanted to go through a list of things that I have written down that helped me get there. I'm going to very quickly show you guys what I looked like at kind of, I guess, the start of my fitness journey. So very quick rundown. I had always been about 130 to 140 pounds my whole life. I looked thin, but I had no muscles at all. And then I shifted into this heavy weightlifting mindset. I ended up gaining a lot of weight, which was both muscle and fat, because I was trying to hit my protein goal, so I would overeat, and I ended up at 198 was my heaviest. So here's kind of the start of my fitness journey and what I looked like. And then here's when I was my heaviest. And now this is what I look like. So I have done a few things that I wanted to share that helped me to kind of lose that bulk weight, if that makes sense, because that's what I was doing. I was bulking for a long time because everyone was like weightlifting, that's the way to go. Here are a few surprising things that, when I say surprising, I don't mean no one has ever said them before. Surprising, like I didn't think they had that much of an effect on weight loss. First thing I did, obviously, is I stopped heavy lifting. And I mean like super heavy hip thrusts, squats, things on the machine that would like make my legs shake because I was pushing so much weight, because it was overexhausting me. It was making me gain the muscle, but on top of that I was so hungry, and so I would eat a lot more. And I also just felt like the weightlifting put so much stress on my body. It basically made it so that my back started hurting. Went to the doctor, they told me I had mild scoliosis, which has been either exacerbated or developed from my heavy weightlifting, because I didn't have scoliosis as a kid. I didn't have the best posture, but weightlifting definitely made it worse. And I was just trying to get as many reps in. I was trying to push as much weight. I was trying to see the results quick. So I was going to the gym like 5 times a week, heavy weightlifting. It was bad. Putting too much stress on my body. I was getting injured a lot, where, you know, my knees would start hurting, so I would get a knee brace, and then my back was hurting, so instead of, you know, working more on my core and slowing my movements down, I just like pushed through it and then tried to recover that night, and then the next day I would go back again. So I totally disregarded resting, basically. And so once I stopped heavy weightlifting, I started to see almost more results, and that's kind of jumping into my next point. I started walking a lot more, and I know everyone on the internet is talking about the 10,000 steps a day, but I truly do think that that makes a difference, because it's low impact, consistent work. It was so much easier for me to get home after working and go on a walk than it was for me to think, oh my God, I have a full leg day again, and I just had one 2 days before. I leaned more into doing that kind of workout, where it made it easier to be consistent for me to go walk every single day rather than going to the gym and weightlifting and exhausting myself. And yoga is just great because it is very relaxing, and it helped my back a lot, so that it was easier for me when I do go to the gym to weightlift, which is about once a week, maybe twice a week. Now I feel like my body has time to rest and recover, and my back doesn't hurt so much because of the yoga stretches and movements, and it's a lot of core engagement, and I think that's really what I needed. So I also started doing a lot of like core stabilization exercises. And now if I feel something weird in my back, or I'm like, okay, my back's starting to hurt, I just stop. I stop and I just stretch for the rest of my workout. I'm trying to really be nice to my body. You should too. If you start feeling like something is hurting, just stop, because it is going to be so much worse if you injure yourself and then you can't work out for months or even weeks. That's going to hurt you way more in the long run. This is more of a correlation thing, I think, but I started taking my vitamins every day and being really consistent with it. I think that overall helped me with just being consistent in anything, and it was ensuring that I was replenishing my body instead of focusing on high protein, which ended up just being a lot of dairy that actually made me feel worse and sent me to the bathrooms more times than I'd like to admit. Kept me consistent with waking up, taking my vitamins, stretching or walking before doing anything else. So more of a correlation. Taking your vitamins is not going to make you drop weight if you're doing nothing else. But it was a good mindset shift. Kind of going back to rest days, I give myself more rest days than I think a lot of fitness influencers would say that they do, because my health is like my number one priority in life, and if I am tweaking my back every time I go to a workout, it's not good for the long run. I'm not going to see results. So these rest days are really important because your body actually needs that time to build the muscle tissue. I'm no expert, okay? I'm not a personal trainer. I don't have a degree in anything that's associated with this, but basically when you're working out, you're ripping your muscles, your muscle fibers, and so they need time to rebuild. This is something I'm still working on, but sleeping for 8 hours is actually important, and I think people tend to think in this like grind culture that it's not that important, or that working out is more important. So like, oh, I'm gonna wake up at 5 a.m. and even though I only got 5 hours of sleep, I told myself I was gonna go to the gym at 5 a.m. every day. If you're not getting enough sleep, don't do the workout. Because genuinely, when I started taking more naps, when I started at least getting 7 hours, but that has made such a huge difference because you genuinely feel rested and like you can go on a walk or you can go to the gym. Anyway, I'm talking a lot about sleep, but it actually is important, and it's one of those things that I heard a million times and I just never actually took it that seriously. The next thing is also kind of a lifestyle shift that I did, and it was just keeping myself busy when I got off work, because I get off at a decent hour, get home at around 2. Sometimes I would get home, I would go to the gym for like an hour, and then I'd shower, and then I'd sit on my couch and rot, because I was like, well, I feel accomplished. I did my workout and I went to work and I showered, and now I'm ready to just do nothing on the couch all day. I actually started seeing more results when I was kind of keeping my entire day active until I'm a couple hours before bed. I can sit and watch something and then go to sleep. Part of those shifts had to start with simple things like, instead of getting my groceries delivered, I would haul my ass to the store and actually go through the aisles and shop. And if you have a very time sensitive life, this might not work for you, but I had so much time that I could have been doing things. So running errands, or I started parking further away from the store entrance so that I could get a little bit of a walk. Having myself do some chores before I get too exhausted or too locked into the couch. So it's just a lot of lifestyle, like little tweaks. And I love to rot, don't get me wrong, but doing that every single night is just it's not how you get your steps in. Okay, final thing before I wrap it up here is I started eating my last meal around 6:30 or 7 p.m. I used to eat it I'd get home, I would eat something, and then 4:35 would roll around, I'd be hungry again, so I'd make something then, and then my husband would get home and he would want to cook dinner, and I would eat something again, and then I would be up at 10 p.m. and I'm like, well, I need one more thing before I go to bed. So I basically was overeating because I was staying up late, and because I was eating the second I felt like I could eat, instead of waiting until I was genuinely hungry. So now I try to wrap up my eating around 7 and drink my water, take my vitamins, and so by the time I get into bed, it's about 9:30 and I'm not hungry, and then I have an hour to get into bed, get comfy, and fall asleep. Yeah, I think that's it. Those are just the things that have helped me, and again, none of them are actually that surprising. A few of them are surprising to me. I didn't realize that resting more would actually help you. So now I'm sitting pretty at 160 pounds. I, of course, don't have crazy muscle mass in my glutes like I used to, but I am happier with how I feel and how I look, and my mental space is better because I'm not beating myself up for not working out 7 days a week. So let yourself have the rest days, switch up your workouts, do something fun or do something different so that you're not feeling like it's a chore. And I feel like overall that will help you stay consistent. Anyway, so that is it. That's kind of my way of leading back into the YouTube world. I'm trying to do more health and fitness things. I want to do some recipe videos and some maybe lifestyle, day in the life. I would still like to do maybe some makeup videos. Comment below the kind of videos you would like to see from me. If you want some recipes, if you want an example of a workout that I do, leave a comment, and I will hopefully start filming once a week is the plan. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.